Hello, hello. Hello there. Oh my God! Like the palm is just good.
The tree got excited.
The tree got excited. The life is getting excited.
Okay, welcome to show number
22 or something.
22. So this is getting very, very interesting. So,
yes, tell us.
I can tell you that in my own life, I'm learning much more about ChatGPT, and I'm blown away by that. That's for another time. In the meantime,
can we substitute you for ChatGPT, or like you still?
Actually, you could if you wanted to. But anyway, we won't do that quite yet.
Okay.
So what we want to do is that Sasha has come out with a new video all about the tariffs. And I will, when I send this out to you, I will send the link. You really should listen to it. It's quite fascinating.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. And just don't forget to like, to comment, and ask questions. Because if you don't ask questions, like it means like kind of like nothing. So just it's important that you ask questions or just critiques.
Or
participate
and then comment. Write your questions in a comment so we can tackle them on the next episode.
Right. We will go through ChatGPT and just give you the answer.
So one of the things that I think we should talk about is all this incredible gerrymandering scandal. With our governor of California has gone, because Texas is basically on at the request of King Trump, has decided to finagle 5 extra seats, and California will completely cancel that out here. So it's unbelievable. It's like an arms race with delegates.
Let's just explain what's going on. They try redistrict Texas to put more seats for the Congress, so to gain the majority in the Congress. California is trying to offset that and redistrict California to put more seats for Democrats, because California is Democratic state. But the problem is that so many states, with the number of states, is actually bigger for Republicans. But I don't know what it just.
But the difference is that the Democratic states have all the major cities. That's a lot of people. So anyway, it basically is an arms race. The whole thing is so effed up, and it's so illegal, and it's typical Trump. If Trump can lie and cheat in anything, he'll lie and cheat at everything, even though if he wanted to do things correctly that could help him, he won't even try it because he prefers to lie and cheat at everything.
So, okay, but like from the other side, don't you think that Democrats are lying and cheating themselves?
No.
Trump is... please.
Not on that level.
Yeah, but that's what I was about to say. Trump you just take it from from what I was to say. Trump just took it to the different level. He's just taken the Democrats, like Hillary Clinton did something with the emails. Trump took it to the different level.
Yeah, and now, but Trump is only interested, according to everything that's going on, is to screw as many people that he doesn't like as possible. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about the economy. He doesn't care about education. He doesn't care about all the things that are important to us. The only thing he cares about is screwing as many Democrats, as many Democratic cities, as many Democratic governments, as many Democratic governors.
So screw everybody.
Yeah. So now, let's along those lines. I think you wanted to talk about Intel or something. What's that?
Yeah, Intel, it's a company. So talking what's going on within the government, it's just very important, because Trump is taking the country to a different level, just crazy stuff. So first they announce within the tariffs, they announced that there is a company, NVIDIA, so which produces chips for AI, and it's such an important chip company for
making otherwise your tree gets too excited.
And AMD, also the company which produces important chips. So those chips, China buying those chips from our companies. So what Trump and his administration did, they forced these two companies to pay 15% from their revenue in exchange to allow those two companies sell their chips to China.
Which is insane.
This is This is a racketeering on a government level. This is and some people, yeah, this is a good idea. We will. No, it's not a good idea. It's like I will decide I want to put like Jeff and I. We will come to your business and say like, hey, why don't you pay us 10% for protection money? You know, this is the same thing.
It's racketeering.
Racketeering right there, and then they decided to invest, quote unquote, invest in the Intel stock, 10%. They said they're gonna buy 10% of Intel stock, but they wanna force Intel to do something.
Who is going to buy Intel stock?
I apologize, the United States government.
Not Trump himself or his family.
No, it's everything going through the government. But government has no.
The government, yeah, but the government is not supposed to be involved
in these things. Like before the government, like when there was a recession, like during Obama, they were forced. The United States government was forced to invest money in AIG, and there were other companies to save those companies.
The car companies.
Yeah, not just car companies. Yes, but now there is no need. It's just totally racketeering. It's totally getting involved in business, which United States government has nothing to do, and it will not help you. Jeffrey, say something good.
I don't know what good there is to say. The other thing is, of course, it looks like that Trump is trying to arrange a military takeover of the United States. Now it's not bad enough that he's got the National Guard going into Washington, which he can get away with because of the laws. But now he's talking about doing it in New York, doing it in Chicago.
Because
and he's already done it in Los Angeles.
Let me just
one thing. But now the last thing is, it came out today or the day before. Now he wants to get the actual military, actual Marine, Army things involved in policing the cities. That's insanity. Then the country becomes basically a military takeover.
It just, I don't think it's going to happen that way. But the problem is this: Trump came with a like idea that he's going to make economy great again. He's going to make people happy again. And as it was in the first his term, that Democrats just rattled everything what Trump wanted to do. This time there is no Democrats. They just like basically all strangled, and still he's trying to pick up some fights, and he's kind of losing those fights, but then he's winning those fights, and at the end there is no progress in economy.
But he's got one horribly disgusting advantage, and that's a totally corrupt Supreme Court.
Yeah, again, it's not just that. It's just like people is still thinking that there is something is going on. And I think the answer is not in a United States like a Supreme Court or anybody. It's the answer is in you. At what point you will just understand this guy is a scammer? At what point you will try to find somebody who stands for your principles, for the United States, for the business, for the development? Because Trump is not developing anything. He's destroying everything. And something else I want to just say. Stock market is going to just be destroyed. Like at some point it's going that way. Because yesterday the stock market went up like 2%, 830 points, Nasdaq and not Nasdaq but the Dow Jones. But the problem was that it happened because the Fed chair announced that he's going to increase the interest rate. It's not because the economy will be going great. It's not because something is going our way, like production, job increase of jobs and
Creation.
job creation. No, nothing like that. It's just because we will tip tap to the credit cards, like the not Federal Reserve, but through the increase of the our like
Interest rates.
interest rate and stuff. Anyways, I'm just so
Anyway, it's a terrible thing, but it's then they at least we heard one good thing, that they're supposedly going to close Alligator Alcatraz because it should never be built there anyway. I mean, I've spent many hours in the Everglades. I grew up there, and so we used to go hunting there when I was in high school, and there's nothing. It's terrible. You know,
Alcatraz, or meaning like Guantanamo Bay.
no, the Alligator Alcatraz is in the middle of the Everglades.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it is. That's why it's surrounded by alligators and swarms and swarms of mosquitoes. You don't want to be
Wow.
out there. And you know, when I was a kid, we used to go hunting for wild boar, if you can imagine. And then I used to go hunting. We used to also go hunting for moccasins, the poisonous snakes. That's another crazy story. Anyway,
Wow.
my parents never knew, or they would have killed me by themselves. So anyway, that's what's going on. So, but you know, everything that's going on with Trump, you know, it's like he spends every week, he decides on Sunday who he's going to attack, and then he attacks him on Monday. Whether it's legal or not legal, he doesn't care. It's just another lawsuit that he's going to fight. And there's never less than 200 to 250 lawsuits going on simultaneously all the time because of this crackpot.
So basically, this is like, let me just continue. So like, economy is not going better. The wars, like in Ukraine, in Middle East, they're not being resolved. Even though like people coming to the White House, European Union leaders, President of Ukraine, they're looking for help and support from United States. And Trump is kind of like sitting there and just like enjoying the attention, but not providing the support, playing with Putin, playing with dangerous stuff.
Trump is there for two reasons: to get compliments and to grift the people that are coming into the Oval Office.
But the point like I'm trying to make is, it just nothing is going to be resolved. We are not moving forward. And my point is this, but there is no opposition. If like I'm talking to friends, because many like Russian community guys, they for Trump, they thinking that Trump will at some point will deliver. But my point, like I'm asking, when? What's the catalyst of like the resolution of anything?
But that's not at all important to him. The only
But
thing,
not, forget about him.
No.
I want people to
but
understand.
but the only thing that seems to be important to Trump and all these clowns that are working for him is how many people he can screw that he doesn't like. That's it. And
But forget about Trump. I'm talking to people just to wake up, because this guy does what he wants to do. Let's applaud him. He's a very good manipulator. He's a great mind blower, whoever he is. But it doesn't benefit you. At some point, you're gonna wake up.
he's a television star in the White House with nothing to offer.
Yeah, but the problem that he actually capitalized on is that if it's not me, it would have been worse.
Yeah.
Because those people are even worse. And people thinking, yeah, Trump is bad, but what if Biden would be in the White House? We would be totally screwed. And it's just like I'm trying to get away from it.
So, well, the main thing now is that, you know, there's no question, we've got to come up with somebody who is 1,000 times better than Trump and 1,000 times
What
better.
about 2 times better than Trump?
Anyway, but 1,000 times better than anybody who we think about might be a potential candidate against them. I don't know who I would recommend. I really don't,
It
because
just
because everybody, the whole conversation is the same thing. It's that Trump is doing this and Trump is doing this, but we don't get the conversation. This is the guy who can do something against Trump. So far,
not against Trump, the guy who can do better, like for us, the guy who has idea for economy.
What's your opinion of Newsom?
Newsom is a very slick politician, but it doesn't have any. I don't see any proposition. Offer something, and he doesn't offer anything. His offer will be, "I'm better than Trump."
What I really like that Newsom's doing, he's pulling all of Trump's shenanigans on Trump, and Trump doesn't like it.
Yeah, so and that's the problem.
But I think it's as much as it's kind of stupid, you need to do that. Unfortunately, you have to play that game.
But Jeffrey, you can play that game alongside with an understanding what our country needs to do. And when you start playing against Trump with tricks, Trump will come back if there would be a third his term, he would come back to Newsom and say like, ha ha ha, but what did you do with California? You ran down California. And he would just dismantle Newsom like at his game.
I don't know about that, but what I do think is that we are still basically totally stuck until the midterms. If we can't change it, if we can't come up with a process to be able to control the results of the midterms, we're screwed.
And Jeffrey, and let me push back again. Listen, if all that midterms about what we are better than Trump, we are better than blue or red, who cares? Like, we have economy, we have problems with the economy. We are spending more money. Like, up to this point, we spent already 1.6 trillion in deficit. We borrowed more for 1.6 trillion dollars.
And where's it gone?
Where exactly?
It's all going.
There's no war. There is no like.
The only people that are winning in this administration are billionaires. If you're a millionaire, you don't even count. But if you're a billionaire and you kiss Trump's ass, that's all he cares about.
Jeffrey, like, listen,
Anyway.
no, and it's and many people will support you from the right and from the left, because people thinking, okay, so who is benefited? Who? It's not about that. The country needs a makeover. So that when you billionaire or millionaire or just me, you just go and you work your day and you have enough money to support your life. And not to think like, fuck, how can I get from this to that? I'm working and it costs more and more and more. And that's what's the problem. But from the right and from the left, they tell you, yeah, those billionaires, those people. Okay, and so you take the money from the billionaires, but there is no settings for people to work and have enough money to live better.
Okay, so what is the cure?
Cure is read my book. I don't have. Cure is just because there are chapters in my book how we deal with this, how we deal with that, because it's all comes down to that our economy, our country cannot do it without remodeling, restructuring healthcare, restructuring illegal immigration. These two things are very important. If we don't do that, there is no way to balance the budget. And the interest rate, we paying the interest, not interest rate, but we are paying interest on national debt. It just skyrocketed.
And of course, what's in the book are practical suggestions, not like people like Laura Loomer, who wants you to send every Hispanic person in the United States to be eaten by alligators in Alligator Alcatraz.
But
she's completely nuts. Yet this nutcase, who's a complete white supremacist, as is most of the administration, she basically, they want to change this country into a white supremacist country. and they want a military that's more like a Gestapo or the brown shirts of Germany. The whole thing is very, very bad. Now, my question is there going to be an election in 2028? Or is Trump going to take over that too?
No, he's gonna die soon. So like the point is like, no, he's a human being. At some point, like he comes home and he's gonna like feel like, oh my god.
He's only going to die if they run out of McDonald's.
All right. So the point is this: there is no other way in our country to get back to the basics of capitalist structure, how to go to work and make money, how to enjoy your life. And this starts with my book, The Purple Vision. If you don't read my book, you will still be in a delusional idea that you pick up one guy who's gonna scream about other guy, and it's like kitchen sink like situation when no, I am better than this guy, no, I am better, like, but what you're offering, and you cannot do it without changes in the structure, what we are, like, not the structure, but some structural changes, but not in a government structure, not structure as how we deal with things.
I mean, look, if it was up to me, the first thing we would do is you get rid of the, what is it, for voting,
machines or what?
No, not the voting machines. They're just going to get sued again. No, the...
how I got it, like this, like, should...
I can't think of it, you know, the...
not the like counting the people, but counting
but we're like a Dakota has as many senators as California. That's completely insane. You know,
I actually
the two senators and two senators in Dakota are half the population.
Yeah, but Jeffrey, like I like that. The problem, you see, they should have a representation too. And if like people in California, they have so many Democrats, and it just so they will push their ideas to the state of Dakota, North Dakota, South Dakota.
Yeah, but it's like the old joke. Why is there a North and South Dakota? There's not enough people in either Dakota to have a population. You know, it's so stupid that two states that have a population of 10 people each get 2 senators.
But again, like they represent the state, and I think that the problem again not in representation, but with the message. The problem is like we have to just say, okay, we need to change the health insurance, how we deal with healthcare insurance. It has nothing to do with Dakota.
Yeah, but if you've ever been to Dakota, you have to realize what you're talking about. It's a whole land full of freeways and mountains, and every now and then there's a building.
Okay. So let's tell people like to read my book, and please subscribe to our channel, and we will continue talking. And next subject, I think we have to talk about war in Israel and war in Ukraine. I would like to explain what is going on.
Yeah, we should also don't forget we also had last weekend the famous story of Trump and Putin, and the only thing that Trump accomplished was zero, and what Putin accomplished was convincing Trump that they have to go after the voting machines again. Insanity.
So next we will talk next week about Putin and Trump and all this stuff, like what we need to do in the Middle East and why we are doing stuff in the Middle East. So you guys take care, subscribe for our channel.
Okay, we'll see you soon. Welcome back to our show, and we hope to see you again next week.
Bye bye.
So, tot ziens.